Even with the Chicago Bears falling from 4 to 5 in the NFL draft after this weekend's results, they still own the number 1 overall pick. Thanks to an Arizona Cardinals win in Week 13 and the Patriots now being the biggest threat, and based on the Patriots schedule, I don't see them winning another game this year. They have the Steelers this upcoming Thursday night, which is their best shot at winning a game. I hope Mitchell Trubisky would let New England win this game so they'd back off of our number 1 overall pick. Then they have Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in New England the following week. Hope Taylor Swift isn't there, because then there's a shot that they could actually beat the Chiefs, because every time she's there, it seems like the Chiefs win. Anyway, let's be realistic. They have Russell Wilson and the Broncos on the road following that, Bills in Buffalo, and then potentially Aaron Rodgers in the Jets to close out the season, who are sneakily in the top 10 right now. But that's not the point of this video. I am here to talk about how even if we don't have the number 1 overall pick this year, which we do, Chicago is in a great position anyway for their quarterback situation for 2024 and 2025. Hello everyone and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Dick Brody, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Yes, Chicago does not have to worry too much about their quarterback situation this upcoming offseason, because of course, they have Justin Fields, who over the last 17 games has had pretty legitimate quarterback stats. Stay tuned, I'll get into that in a minute. But also, if Fields doesn't work out, let's just say, which I hope he does, they can get one in next year's draft. If you think Justin Fields is the guy for the Chicago Bears, and Chicago should focus on other areas of the roster in this upcoming draft, make sure to smash that like button on this video to show that you agree. And then also, if you don't, throw your thoughts in the comment section below. Would love to hear what you guys are thinking. As promised, I'm going to go through what Justin Fields has done over the last 17 games. In the last 17 games for the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields has 2,960 passing yards, 25 passing touchdowns, 12 interceptions, a QBR of 92.3, and he did that while being the most pressured and sacked quarterback over that 17-game span. So yeah, he is an actual NFL quarterback, if you didn't know that. So right now, we do have the number 1 overall pick, and I'm not too worried about it, because here is what Ryan Poles has on the table right now, and I'm going to break it all down for you. So last year, Ryan Poles traded the number 1 overall pick to the Carolina Panthers for wide receiver DJ Moore, a 2023 first-round pick, which ended up being Darnell Wright, and a 2024 first-rounder with a few other picks. So, Chicago still has the number 1 overall pick back-to-back, even though they actually don't technically own it. Ryan Poles, in both of his drafts as general manager of the Chicago Bears, has moved picks ups and down. And if I was a true betting man, I am putting a lock that he does it again. And with the number 1 overall pick again this year, knowing that he has Justin Fields, he's for sure going to trade it back to get a haul. There are other teams that desperately need a quarterback, such as the New England Patriots, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Las Vegas Raiders, even the Washington Commanders, because Sam Howell is not legitimate. Let's just put that out there. They're not going to give up the number 1 overall pick unless they get a haul. And all those teams are in the rebuilding phase right now. So they're going to go after a quarterback, and they want that number 1 overall pick to get a generational type talent like Drake Maye or Caleb Williams. With those teams rebuilding, it is super rare for a team to completely turn it around after just taking in a quarterback after 1 year. So what does that mean? Like the Carolina Panthers, who gave us the number 1 overall pick because they suck, they could be a very high pick. Poles could have gone to anyone last offseason with the number 1 overall pick, which was owned by Chicago, and traded it to anybody. But why did he choose Carolina? Because he knew they would be bad this year, and he's going to do the exact same thing this year. They gave him the chance to have the number 1 overall pick again. He got it, and he's going to look out to see who's likely to have that again next year and likely trade with that. Or in general, if they're bad, likely a top 5 or even top 3 pick. So now Poles gets some haul. He has his pick this year still, which is at number 5 at the moment. He maybe gets number 2, number 3, maybe a little bit later, and focuses on the needs of offensive line, defensive line, wide receiver, and a staff this offseason. Circling back to Justin Fields for everyone, including Fields himself, has zero excuses in 2024 for any sort of slow progression, and he has to be pedal to the metal and show that he's got everything he needs now to be the quarterback Chicago needs. So now, if Fields doesn't work out in 2024, Poles traded that number 1 overall pick for a haul for now having 2 first-rounders again in 2025. One hopefully being a top 5 pick because he traded it to a team that's rebuilding and drafted a quarterback that's going to have to develop. And now they can go out and get a plug-and-play rookie out of the draft or even in free agency to take Chicago to the promised land. Every year, and I'll pound the table for this, there is a generational type quarterback in the draft, but you don't hear about generational type wide receivers like Marvin Harrison Jr. in this upcoming draft. I want Marvin Harrison Jr. I think Fields is a Marvin Harrison Jr. and a play caller away from being a legitimate quarterback in this league that we know and want him to be. But if he doesn't work out, you have a stacked team because you focused on that in 2024, and you have that plug-and-play quarterback that you can either draft early, trade up for, or sign in 2025. Whew, that was a lot. But again, Chicago is in a good position. Fields works out, you built a team. Fields doesn't work out, you have 2 picks again, first-round picks next year, again, that you can trade up and get the quarterback that you want. And you still have a ton of money, and you don't have to worry about paying Justin Fields. Boom. That's it. Put your thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video if you enjoyed the content. And thank you, as always, for tuning into this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. But my name is Nick Brody, and as always, bear down, baby.